Oh boy, here we go. Get ready, get ready. All right, let's go. All right, time for the live stream. Welcome everyone. Welcome. Let me know how the audio is. We had a good stream last hour. Was told audio was good, but let me know because I did some setting adjustments in the last couple minutes. So hopefully it's still good. And like always, we'll give it a couple of minutes for everyone to stroll on in here. What an awesome trailer. I always forget about the trailer. The 40 breeder. Yeah. Brian P. Hello. Bob Vance. Frank. Good to see everyone. A lot of people from the last stream. I love it. Set a record on the last stream. Pretty excited about that. Audio, video, good. All right. What was Din Din? I didn't find anything to eat. So I'm quiet again. Well, I've got two people that say it's good and one person that says it's quiet. If you don't know, testing out a new mic, so that's why I'm asking. All good here in Iowa. Audio is good. Back for more. Johnny, you might just have to turn your volume up, buddy. All good. All good. Well, I like those odds. Normally, it's about 50-50, so this is better. Hopefully, we fixed the audio clipping that was happening last week with the other mics, and all good this round. All right. All good. So, I'm going to be linking this periodically throughout the stream. If you want to buy fish there. Just do it. Bob's going to be hangry by hour 2. I know, everyone's going to start talking about food in the second hour. I'm going to be like, ugh. And the fact that I have no food means I have to go get food, which means I have to go out in public. That is the worst. The worst. What is a life fish? I got some blind cherries. Blind? Bling cherries? Bling? Still low of volume. Just because. UPS for living the dream with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Curtis Schindler with a $1 super chat. Thank you so much. I could turn it up a little. Turn this up a few notches here. See how that does. Hopefully it doesn't make it all staticky, and we'll see. Turn it up a little bit. I can still turn it up a lot more too, but I can already see that it's going to start clipping, so I don't want to do that. The Fish Room ABQ says, I'm going to be at Aquashella this weekend. Anyone else going to be there? Let's see. Let's get a call out. Show your hands. Raise your hands if you're going to Aquashella this weekend. I guess I should put this on the live chat. Probably pretty smart. Oh yeah, and I gotta move this over here. There we go. Now it's better. Was going to ask last live if the link on Dan's video where you did with him was still active. Volume is super good now. Yes, the link is always good. Touch of static. I knew it. As soon as you turn that up a little bit. Volume to load. 3 more months until I get a giraffe badge. Yep. If we buy live fish from Dan, does that mean they live forever? Did I say life or live? Where is it? I probably typed it wrong, right? Buy live fish. Yep. Let's just get rid of that. How about we buy live fish here? There's got to be some better way to say that, but that's all I got for now. There you go. There we go. Pin it, and we're good. Jessica says, nope, too hot. I agree. What's it gonna be like, 1 billion degrees down there? I don't even think I want to know. Brian says, Aquashella is a big thumbs down for me. Anyways, yeah, lifetime warranty. Lifetime warranty. Well, you have to buy the extended warranty with your fish. All right, there is an extended warranty. We won't talk about that yet, but it's depends on the price of the fish. About $3 for 5 years, $10 for 7 years, $15 for 10 years. Buy the extended warranty. I get 90% commission on that. Yep. Yep. Barb, aren't they adorable? Man, I do not miss that in retail of having to just drive home that extended warranty. Oh man, that's the quickest way to get on your manager's S list is to not sell extended warranties, even knowing that they're a complete waste of money. Whew. Gotten a lot of fights over that one. Like sometimes I just refuse to sell them because it's just not a good deal at all. But anyways, we're going to talk about what are we going to talk about? Future of the fish room and videos. Yeah, I thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about that. We've been trying to reach you about your fish's extended warranty. Yes. I better not get a fish warranty spam calls now. It's going to happen. Aquashella is not a good enough reason to suffer Texas. Like, I would go in the fall, winter, spring, but in August? Man. I don't know who made that decision, but they should not be allowed to make decisions anymore. Take that responsibility away from that person. I'm telling you. No conventions here. It's that whole being in public thing. Bad enough I have to work in it. Oh, most of my fish are Dan's fish. I love them. Beautiful, healthy fish, shipped perfectly and acclimated to many foods. Perfect. If that's not a seal of endorsement, I don't know what is. Straight from Bunny Viper's mouth. Use that link. Buy those fish. Pay my bills. I'm just kidding, obviously, but that's pretty awesome fish. All right, probably cheaper rates in the summer. Who cares? Like, at what cost? So you saved $100 a day. I put my voicemail in Russian and answer unknown numbers in Russian. They stopped calling me. I just try to keep them on the phone as long as possible. Like, that's always been my thing. Or, like, putting them on hold and seeing how long they'll wait on hold. That's another good one. Jessica, that's a good question. Who decided to do summer in Texas and winter in Chicago? Especially after all the problems they had like 2 Chicagos ago? Or was it last Chicago? When all the flights were delayed, when all the flights were canceled because of the storms. I mean, let's be real. Who picked Chicago anyways? Like, eek. Granted, it's not in Chicago at least. Mountaintop. Well, I didn't say it was worth it, just that it could have been the reasoning. Just the reasoning. All right, so I just want to talk about fish and what's going to be going on around here. If you don't know, I'm going to be getting some new fish from Dan's Fish. And that's what's going to be going on in the fish room. I did buy I bought an above ground pool and put all my fish out in that pool. Just, they're all out there now. So the fish room, there's still some fry in there, but it's basically empty and there's some reptiles. But fish wise, I'm pretty much ready to start rocking and rolling on the rebuild of the already new fish room that I built last summer. I'm not building anything new, just new stands and new fish. I'm super excited about it. So I'm going to have a stand of 3 20 longs, and that's going to be on one end. So it's 8 by 16. So on one end, I'm going to have, I might even go 4 20 longs, depending on how high I want to go. Phone's blowing up. Got to turn that off. I apologize. So that's one wall. Then we come to the next wall, and that wall is just going to be 2 125. So basically, they're already there right now. But I'm rescaping them, which is why I moved all the fish out. And I'm basically going to make it an open top with the plants coming out of the top, which I think is really cool. And then what I'm really excited about is the other 8-foot wall over here. I was going to use my 300-gallon acrylic and just put that there, but now I'm actually going to build my own aquarium there, and it's going to be way larger than 300 gallons. Basically a plywood aquarium that takes up the whole wall, and just because even the 300-gallon acrylic is 7 feet long, and so you couldn't look in from the sides anyway, so it's kind of wasted. You know, a foot on each side, already wasted, gone. So I'm probably going to sell that and use that to pay for just one front plane of glass and some 2x4s of plywood, hopefully. Although the prices have come down quite a bit in wood and they keep dropping. Although I'm curious, I didn't check today, but I want to check right now that I'm thinking about it. Lumber futures. Oops. Not used to the mic being right there, so I just nailed it. It went up a little bit today, but it's at its lowest point in like 6 months, so that's pretty good. So yeah, it's going to be 7 feet wide, and I don't know, it depends on how expensive the glass is, because obviously the taller it is, the thicker the glass I have to get. So it's either going to be, I want it to be 4 feet tall from the ground. So I mean, that's basically it. So front painted plywood aquarium, 8 feet wide, 4 feet tall, and probably only 3 feet front to back. I would love it to be 4 feet, but it just takes up too much room, because then on the other wall is going to be rows of 40 breeders. And it's going to be a mix of aquascape tanks and breeding tanks. So, whereas before they were just all going to be aquascape, but I do need some breeding tanks because I'm getting some rare fish and I do want to breed them. So some gobies, some aspidoras, some tetras I want to breed. And so that's basically what's going on. As far as the videos that are coming out, if anyone is interested, so we got about a 2.5 hour video of Dan's fish coming out probably Wednesday. If I can finish it tonight, it'll be out tomorrow, but that's not going to happen. This is a massive video. Like I said, it would be a miracle if I could get it down to 2.5 hours. Let's just put it that way. That's the goal. Like, I don't want it to run over 2.5 hours, but it might. And so we'll see how that goes. I still have a lot of editing to do, and I don't know that I'll get it done by tomorrow. So most likely Wednesday. Like I spent all weekend on it and a lot of last week on it, and there's still a lot to go. So it is kind of a process going through and editing. I don't even know how many hours of footage is. Probably like 90 hours of footage. Like I don't even know, but it's a lot. So hopefully that'll be out Wednesday. I also spent and did like an hour-long video and toured Corey's from Aquarium Co-op's, his fish room, which I haven't done his new one on my channel yet, and he's been there for a couple years, so I don't know why I waited so long, but I finally did that. So then there's going to be another really long video coming out, and if you don't like it, tough. I like long-form videos, so that's what I'm doing. When I'm watching YouTube, there's nothing I hate more than like watching 3-minute videos. Always clicking, trying to find something. I like to just put something on and watch it. So I'm making long form videos, and that's just the way it is. But they should be pretty fun, pretty interesting. Dan's fish room. I mean, well, warehouse, whatever you want to call it. There's so many rare fish that it should keep your attention. I hope. I don't expect anyone to sit down and watch a 2.5 hour video, but let's say you put it on at night, fall asleep, pick it up the next night, fall asleep. I mean, this is how I do it, right? At night, I watch camping videos that are anywhere from like an hour to 4 hours long, and sure, it takes me like 2 weeks to get through it, but I finally get through it. So maybe it'll be that. I don't know, but I don't expect anyone to just sit down and watch 2.5 hour tour video. Brett Thorpe, welcome to the Dream Team, my friend. Just so you know, which you probably do, but we stream an hour before this stream, and then there's a whole slew of videos on there, just random videos if you want to check. Jim says, I'm with you. I like long videos. Yep. And like everyone is doing short content videos right now, right? I mean, 15-second, 3-minute videos are kind of the thing right now. And I like to do what other people aren't doing. Somebody told me that, like, I asked for some advice on YouTube like 5 years ago, and I won't say from who, but y'all know who it is. And because I don't think he'd give the same advice right now, but his advice back then was do what other people aren't doing. And since everyone's making short videos, I want to do long videos. In addition to all the other reasons why I said I do long videos, but so hopefully that'll turn out all right. And I hate commercials. Well, the nice thing is that you can just buy YouTube Red or Premium or whatever it is and get rid of the commercials. But you can believe in a 2.5 hour video, there's going to be some commercials. So buy Red, which I don't like when people do because I don't get as much money from YouTube Red as I do from commercials, but I don't really care. One way or the other. Ginger Grumble with a $5 super chat says, please hit the like. Yep. Hit the like button. But I'm also with you, Randy. I hate commercials too, but that's why I pay for YouTube Premium. I remember like when Hulu started putting ads in their stuff, I was like, pfft, like I pay for this. Why is there ads in here? Well, you gotta buy the next tier for that. I was like, nah, I'll just cancel you. I don't need your ads. K2 says, at night I put on old co-op live streams or Real Fish Talk or Bobby Thunda and maybe a bit of Rico Stand or LRB. I mean that's the best way to like just unwind, I feel like. I mean, it is for me. Just put something on and have it on the background and just kind of relax. I love how every short video has a commercial. Remember when TV capped commercials at 3 minutes per 30-minute sitcom? I wonder what the time proportion is on YouTube. So sitcoms is 3 commercial breaks. Well, technically it's 5. So you have like the intro commercial, 8 minutes commercial, 8 minutes commercial, 8 minutes commercial, outro commercial, right? So unless you're like MTV, then it's like 5 minutes, 5 minutes of commercials, 5 minutes, 5 minutes of commercials. But generally in TV, it's every 8 minutes or so. And you got to believe like they've spent hundreds, if not billions of dollars on research and marketing to find out like this is the exact point when people will put up with it, right? Like at if there's a commercial every 7 minutes, people go, they change channels. But at every 8 minutes, they're willing to put up with it. Like I got to imagine like they spent just millions of dollars and hundreds and thousands of hours of research on this because I mean, why wouldn't you? But every 8 minutes. So like in the live streams, I do like every 15 minutes for the first hour. And then I put like one at like an hour and a half. So 2 hours, there's usually like 4, maybe 5 if I go longer than 2 hours. But in a video, like you have to put the commercials in or YouTube will just punish you. Absolutely punish you. Because there was a time when I wasn't doing commercials at all. Or ads, whatever you. And it's just the viewership just goes because they don't promote you anymore. Which it makes sense. Like if YouTube's not making any money, why would they promote you? So it's just one of those necessary evils you got to deal with. Wait, I was supposed to make under 3 minutes. Your was 16 and 13 minutes. Your? Brett says, I love my new rainbow fish. I wish I could get some from Dan, but I am in Canada. That's the real struggle right there. Blue Water Jim with the $10 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Says, how many hairy puffers could I safely put in a standard 125? Probably 1. Unless you're going to put like separate somehow. I don't know how you would do more than 1. As soon as they lock eyes and see each other, it's game on. Like, I would be curious. Maybe it'll work. I could say I've never done it, but I've kept hairy puffers twice. I know how insanely aggressive they are. So to me, like, I don't know that it would work. I don't know. You definitely have to watch it and be ready to separate or put some kind of barrier in there. I don't think you could ever do more than 2 because you can only do 1 in a 40 breeder, and a 125 is basically just 2 of those. Obviously, that's not exact math, but, 2 3-foot tanks, 1 6-foot tank. All right, that's where I'm going there, right? I know 2 40 breeders is 80, not 100. I know, but I'm just saying footprint-wise. And they don't take up the whole aquarium. They stay on the bottom. That's it. Rarely will they go any higher than like the top third of the aquarium. So they see each other, they're gonna box. It's just the way it is. And Alexander Englehart, what's going on, my friend, with the $100 super chat? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I don't know if he ever gets tired of hearing thank yous, but it's not like I could just ignore it. If you're tired of hearing thank you all the time, I apologize. I do like the stars though, so I forgot about that. I forgot to check that, like the new format. Can anyone else hear Bob's chair noises now that the volume is up? I know it's the worst. Trust me, it's growing pains. This is a new mic. Like instead of having it like up in my face, I have it down here, and yeah, it picks up the chairs, but it'll be fixed by next week. So I'll try not to move, but I do fidget a lot. So maybe if I sit up straight, but I'm gonna end up slouching eventually. Someone needs to make a little jingle for every time someone gets Engle-hearted. That would be funny. That would be interesting. I'm not creative enough for that, so you can do it. WD-40, yeah. Maybe I'll just lock it. How about that? I'll lock it. That should stop me. Nope. I can't even like lean back and it's still. All right. I gotta tighten the bolts and spray it with some WD-40. All right. Next week, it'll be better. What size is my fish room? It's 8 feet by 16 feet by, it's so tall, probably like 9 feet tall. And so I could go pretty high, but one thing that is not fun is getting on ladders to do tank maintenance. It's just not fun. Ginger Grumble with the $5 super chat says, it is my dog Mogi's 13th birthday today. I thought everyone needed to know. Happy birthday, Mogi. Happy birthday. Grab a guitar and sing Fishing in the Dark. I can imagine there will be a time when I will play either my guitars or my piano. You don't know, this is a piano right here. There will be a time, but it'll probably be on a member stream because I'll get copyright strike if I'm on a regular stream, and yeah, I can't have that. So at some point, I can imagine that being a reality. But I'm having this many mic problems just with my voice. Can you imagine all the problems I would have with instruments as well? Uh-oh, rummy nose are sick. pH is now 7.5, was 6.5 a few days ago. KH is 120, GH is 150 parts per million. After buying them yesterday, they have been breathing fast and had white mouths with pale faces. I would absolutely get them in a quarantine tank, although it's probably pretty late right now, or too late right now. But if it was me, I would do the, what would I do? First, I would try salt. And if salt doesn't work, then I would start hitting them with meds. I'd probably find something for fungus for their mouths. And I'd probably try to find something for internal parasites. You could just do the co-op med trio. There's lots of videos on that. But my go-to right now is always salt first. So that's what I would do. And rummy nose tetras, you really got to be careful with rummy nose. It's really hard to find good quality rummy nose tetras. So in my experience, anytime you buy rummy nose, they should absolutely be in a quarantine tank, and you need to watch them. If you're in the fish store, I would ask for them to be fed so I can watch them eat. And then I would also look for any type of sunken bellies with rummy nose tetras. That's pretty common. But yeah. Serpent tetra with Cynotilapia Lion's Cove. I don't think that would work out as well. I don't think that would work out very well. Lion's Cove being an African cichlid, they're going to be a bit too aggressive. You could do other tetras, but the reason I wouldn't do Serpent tetras is because of their long fins. They're going to be, I mean, that would be a dream for African cichlids to be able to nip those fins all day long. So they won't have long fins for very long. I would do something a little bit more robust, maybe like a bleeding heart. I don't know how much room you have, but they get pretty large. Any of the bigger body tetras I would do. Sorry I'm late. Had to deal with a disputed purchase with my bank. Happy to be here now. Happy to have you here now. I've been lucky. I've been lucky with that. Every time I've had issues, I just call my bank and they just give me the money back, and That's it. Like it's never an issue. Maybe I just have a good bank. I don't know. Brian says, I found that with Neon Tetris too. Can't keep those things alive. Yeah, it can be really hard to find good quality Neon Tetris as well, for sure. John at Dan's Fish says, I know a place that has some pretty solid rummy nose Tetras. And speaking of that place, you just got it. They're right there. They're right there. He actually has 2 different types of rummy nose Tetras, which unfortunately doesn't, you can't tell in the video because the camera doesn't pick it up. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah, Dan's rummy nose were looking pretty freaking healthy. I have gotten a semi-hex 6-gallon tank, but didn't come with a lid. Where can you get lids for odd-shaped tanks? You pretty much have to make your own, or you can have someone make it for you. So Rebecca, what I would do is look for a local glass shop. It's usually really cheap to just walk in and say, I need a piece of glass cut for these dimensions, and they'll just cut it right there. Usually, you know, if they're not busy, they'll just do it right then. And it takes like 20 minutes, or they'll just tell you to come back like tomorrow. But yeah, local glass shops, trust me, they're used to making lids for aquariums. My neons would get wiped every water change. Just the neon. Started with my 20. Started with 28. Now I have none. Yeah, I actually stay away from neon Tetris now just for that reason. Ooh, if I had $100 to spend at Dan's Fish, what would I get? That's tough because your shipping is probably going to be about a third of that. So you figure like $30 for shipping. So now you're down to 70. What would I get? Honestly, I would probably go for a Pleco. Danny Does Life says, hey, back guys. Hope you're having a good day. Good Monday. Almost home from work. And it's tank time. $100 at Dan's. I'd go with some glass headstanders. Those guys are cool. Yeah, the glass headstanders are pretty impressive. I really like the Ranger Plecos. I don't know if you're a Pleco person there. I wouldn't go with Rainbow Fish because I don't think you could get a large enough school for $70. So I wouldn't do Rainbow Fish. I don't know. There's just some really nice Plecos there, like the L202, the Ranger Pleco, the 470, I think it was. There's some really nice L333s. Yeah, there's a lot of cool Plecos there right now. Mountaintop Puffer Keeper says, I got a cool fish room surprise this morning. 2 10-month-old pairs of F1 POW Palliser spawning in separate caves in same tank. Well, that's pretty impressive. I would say that's definitely a cool surprise. Wasn't there supposed to be a long video last Saturday uploaded with Dan's Fish? There was supposed to be, but I did not get it done in time. I was a little overzealous with my estimation, and yeah, I have a lot of hours into this video editing, and I still have some more to go. So I'm hoping to have it. I think I said this earlier. I'm hoping to have it out tomorrow, but it's like 1% odds, so most likely Wednesday. But the amount of time it takes to go through like 90 hours of footage and then edit it is pretty ridiculous. Are red Phantom Tetras big enough? No, you're gonna have the same problem with Phantom Tetras. They have the longer fins. They're not long fin, but they definitely have fins that are going to attract Lion's Cove. And Lion's Cove, I get it, they're a smaller Mbuna type fish. I have kept them, and I have kept them with a variety of different fish. And from my experience, anything with like a longer type fin does not do well. Aiden says, dropping big bucks on a hard hat soon. Do you have any experience looking at carbon reinforced resin for $117? My head is hard enough, man. I don't need a hard hat. I have zero experience with hard hats. Wish I could help you, buddy, but I cannot. If you don't mind open tanks, I use lighting diffuser egg crate. Very easy to make a lid. Yes, so that's an excellent point. Egg crate, you can get it like Home Depot or Lowe's. Pretty much any big box hardware store like that. If you're going there, like as hobbyists, we know it as egg crate. But if you go to Home Depot, they're going to call it lighting diffuser. But it will be open top. So if you have small fish, they might be able to jump through. Usually, it's plastic, and they usually have, it's like, think of like, I don't know. I got nothing, but just think of like, okay, here we go. Think of this. So like this, right? But they're half inch apart, where these are quarter inch. So if you have small enough fish, they'll be able to jump through there. If you have jumpers. I think we all could be guilty of that. Danny's life. There are so many amazing fish. It is so hard to choose. The last time I filled Dan's fish cart, I got up to $1,000 real quick. I should not be allowed to shop. I have 1 snowball pleco, says Brett. 1 gold nugget pleco. Those are pretty cool. I just got 3 L100 Stardust bristlenose. I've never heard of those before. L100. Interesting. They're great at cleaning the tank, and the other 2 are just for show. Nathan says, Danny, if you need a place to send those thousands of dollars worth of fish, I'll gladly give you my address. Case 2 says, I wore a hard hat for 6 years, working pipeline construction. Sucked. What schooling fish with a nice red would you mix in with Lion's Cove? Probably cherry barbs. You might have to grow them out in a separate tank, but a full-grown cherry barb is bigger than you would think, and they're also fatter. So I would have no issues like trying cherry barbs at all. But just remember, like if you walk into a Petco or PetSmart, they're going to be like that big, so you'll probably have to grow them out first. But if you want red, cherry barb's the way to go. Or there's a myriad of other barbs that have red in them as well. So yeah, maybe look into barbs instead of tetras. Would it be worth it to get a wholesale account to buy aquariums at wholesale price for a fish room? Nope. Absolutely nothing is cheaper than the $1 per gallon at Petco. Wholesale prices are more expensive than the $1 per gallon sale. So, I know, I have wholesale accounts. There's some oddball stuff like the 33 long or the 40 long. So you can get like different size tanks, but if you're talking just standard size tanks, I mean, Dan's Fish, like all these places, they got them at the $1 per gallon sale. Well, I think Dan ordered his in because he needed like 100, but every fish room I've ever been to has been the $1 per gallon sale. Jessica says my cherry barbs are thick. Yes, cherry barbs, they get pretty robust, or thick if you want to call it. You could try Odessa barbs, not super red, but I bet they could hold their own against a lot of African cichlids. What's your go-to fry grow out tank setup? Rebecca asks, what's my go-to fry grow out tank setup? It is algae. Lots and lots and lots of algae and green water. If I have a tank with green water, all my fry are going to go in that tank. If I'm specifically spawning fish, I'm going to try to make green water. But anything with algae. I love raising fry in just a tank that is covered in algae, because there's so much for them to graze on, so much just microfauna that we don't even know about that's in there that they can eat. So yeah, that's kind of my go-to. I don't have like a specific size. It kind of depends. Like if I just have a couple fry, then 10, 20 gallons. If I have a lot of fry, probably 40 gallon. But I always have like one tank that is just wall-to-wall algae everywhere, just for that reason. But I have my eye on some rainbows, saving my tips for some hap goods. I would try looking at fish stores for cherry barbs in my area. They aren't very red, super healthy, but lack color from PetSmart. So here's my experience with cherry barbs. It doesn't really matter where I bought them from. If I fed them right and kept them right, they always turned deep, dark red. It's one of the few fish that I can say that with confidence. Like, buy them at Petco, PetSmart, wherever. If you treat them right, they're going to treat you right. I've never had a cherry barb not color up. They used to, at my local Petco here, they had the 5 for 5, so you could buy 5 cherry barbs for $5. And I just cleaned them out. I bought them all, and every single one of them just colored up beautifully. I realized at there like they're just pretty bland, right? I mean, you're a Petco, they're not going to be happy. They're not getting fed. The water is probably disgusting. Bring them home, give them good quality food, clean water, and they'll color right up. I agree between I agree between algae and green water. Outdoor tubs look ugly at times, but the fish do amazing. Yeah, one of my 300-gallon tubs is just littered with fry. I have no idea what they are. There's probably 15 different species of rainbows, so they're probably like some sort of rainbow cross. But there's also black ruby barbs. Like if you want a red barb, get yourself some black ruby barbs. So those could have spawned out there. There's Hawaiian Variatus platies, which they generally have larger fry, so I don't think it's them. So it's either got to be the barbs or some type of rainbow hybrid. Cherry barbs color up due to omega-3s, omega-6s, and beta carotenoids plus UVB light that controls their pigment. There you go. I used none of that and got mine to color up. So, oh man, that's funny. The only problem I've ever had with cherry barbs is that I had a few get bloat out of nowhere. It was just 3 super random. So I've had that happen with cherry barbs too. Like you can't overfeed them, but luckily you're probably not going to run into that problem if you have African cichlids, because African cichlids are like, you don't overfeed African cichlids because they will get bloat. So Irene Duel, welcome to the Dream Team. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We live stream 1 hour before this stream every Monday, 3:30-ish. And lots of videos to check out there too. Not a rainbow cross. The internet rainbow Nazis will be pissed. If somebody like tries to like be the fish police, I'll put them up for sale. Like that'll really trigger them. Like there's not a problem if you cross your rainbows until you sell them. Just like any other fish, African cichlids, you cross your African cichlids, whew, and sell them. I agree, that's bad. I would turn into a fish police myself. But these guys are going to live in their tubs. They'll eventually get moved back in here in winter. I'll never sell them. I love your video, Bombs. I met you through Corey at Aquarium Co-op. Did we meet, or do you mean like you found my channel? It'd be cool if we met. That'd be pretty random. And thank you so much. Most barbs are unkillable in my opinion. Well, there's definitely some less hardy barbs, but I would say for the most part, probably one of the toughest, hardiest of the aquarium schooling. I don't know, whatever you want to class them at, but very, very hardy fish generally. Any tips on getting the CW10 to spawn? So I've never done it. My pandas, Paleotis, Violet Cory spawn like it's going out of style. The lasers seem to have no interest. All in their own 40 breeder, all fed the same. So the CW10 is going to be bigger. Maybe if your CW10s are the same size as like your pandas, then they're probably just not mature enough yet. But if they're like large like they should be, then when you think you're giving them enough food, you need to give them more. I mean, that's really, like I said, I've never spawned the CW10, but if I was having trouble, that would be my strategy. Like just keep feeding more and more and more, which means more water changes and more work, but that's my go-to. And I would probably do it with live blackworms or rapashi only, because rapashi you can leave in the tank for a long time. Blackworms, obviously they'll live in the tank, so they can stay there indefinitely. So those would be my 2 go-to. And I would do, as far as rapashi, I'd probably do like spawn and grow, something with a lot of protein. Just fly to Australia and toss your mutt rainbows into some creeks. I'm sure Gary Lang would love it. I would be like, I would do what the Guppy and the Endler people do and be like, oh, I created my own strain. Pay me $1,000. That's what I would do. I'll be waiting at a shotgun at the airport with a shotgun. So sadly, no, we've not met. Okay, so you got me. You basically, okay, I get it. You found my channel through Aquarium Co-op, which is cool. I got a Aquarium Co-op video coming out in the next week and a half. It's gonna be another long one. Should be pretty fun. Okay. Gotta wet the whistle. That is some good water. I'm gonna put my cories in a tank with shrimp, open to keep the eggs good. I mean, I don't see any problem with that. They might just keep all the fungus off them eggs if you ever get fungus. I don't know, but you might lose some eggs to the shrimp as well. Well, blackworms live in sand. Yes, I've had them, and they go down in the sand, and then they'll like poke their. They don't really have heads, but they'll like poke up through the sand. Yes, I'll talk about it in like an hour and a half on my stream. I do find the snuggling fascinating. Snuggling? Oh, smuggling fish in and out of Australia. I mean, the rainbow fish people have been doing it for decades. I have a 100-gallon stock tank as a breeding pond. I want to put a seine net over the top and keep out dragonflies. Should I have the net along the top of the tank or drill it 3 inches below? I would put it on top. I don't know that that's the best way, but if I was doing it, I would put it on top. You might just put in a single goldfish too. Like I've seen goldfish go after dragonflies. So nobody really, well, some people might, but probably not the best thing to have in your tub. But a goldfish will keep it clean. I was looking at the F1 Bose Monty Steenfott rainbows you just discovered. I'd pay hundreds just for those eggs. Bozeman Steenfott. I always wondered, like, if I go to Peru, collect fish, and discover one, I get to name it after me, right? I would just name it Bob. If it was a rainbow fish, which obviously it wouldn't be in Peru, it would just be Melanotania Bob. Corridoras Bob. Like, us Bobs. We're going to get ours. Trust me. I'll be creating my own guppy strain after backbreeding wild genetics into them. I mean, there's definitely, like, people that actually do it the right way, but there's a lot more people that just, like, throw in a bunch of mixes and get, like, one random cross, and they're like, look, I created a new strain, and then it just, you know, they never breed true. Mark says, I use the dragonfly larva for trout bait. Interesting. See, like, yeah, Alex, no. I don't want none of that double-eyed nonsense at the end, right? It's just going to be Bob. Melanotania Bob. Right? Cyprichromis Bob. Robert I. No, I don't want any of that. That's the problem. Like, people are always putting the I at the end. We don't need the I, all right? There's already a Robert's I, Robert's CI, whatever it is. No, nope. Joel gets me. Just Bob. That's it. Grassfez says, I also find snuggling fascinating, quite underrated if you ask me. Then you should have been here like a month ago, because we dedicated like a whole 20 minutes to just snuggling. And it blew my mind what's out there. Like, I don't even want to get into it again, because it's still crazy to me. But it's a whole separate world. Yeah. Unholy Orders, what's going on? What's up, Bob? Just made it. Hola, everyone. Hello to you too. Irene says, I'd buy your fish, Bob. Well, actually, I probably should announce this. I don't know why I'm doing that. Like, I have some, like, what are those mustaches called where they go, and then they curl around? I don't know why I just did that. I probably should have said this earlier, but I did actually, my site is fired back up, SteenfottAquatics.com. I did a silent relaunch, you know. Actually, I just turned it back on. It's been shut off for a while. And if you go, though, you'll notice that there's shrimp there. They're all out of stock, but I do plan to have some shrimp for sale pretty soon. So, you know. And if you ever wanted, for whatever reason, you ever wanted yourself a Steenfott Aquatics shirt, you can go get one now. I don't know why you would, but it's there. $200 an hour, right? I mean, I'm telling you. If I wasn't on YouTube, I would be snuggling someone right now. They seriously make $200 an hour to snuggle. talk about like the easiest job ever. Now, I get there's probably some stuff you have to deal with that I don't want to, that I wouldn't do, but you know, I don't know. Handlebar stash, is that what it is? Maybe if I move to Wyoming, I'll have to grow one of those out. That's shrimply great. It is. It is. Do you see the new Oscar species named after Ivan? Nope. Come on. Why would I ever be interested in anything about anything Oscar related? That's something I would never look up. Guys. Oh man. Oscars? Not my jam. Hey, if you love Oscars, don't worry, we can still be friends, right? Just not for me. They charge $200 an hour. That's what I said. For $200 an hour, I'm all yours, whatever you want to do. Well, there's a line. There is a line there, right? We don't want to go over that. We don't want to go around it. There's the line. That line is the law. So, MIT study confirmed that fish are happier with higher self-esteem when kept in aquariums with blue backgrounds. Just saying. Well, it's a good thing MIT is a joke of a school. No one takes them seriously. Just kidding. I've actually taken biology classes from MIT. It's a great watching cottonmouths swim by the floodwater. Rip, glad we're what? Glad the weird relatives have a generator and we're oh yeah. Sorry, John's in the middle of a flood right now, watching cottonmouth rattlesnakes swim by. That's got to be interesting. Starting bets now. Ooh, what bet for what? I pay. See, if we did that, I would do that for like charity. Like we should have like a Fish Fam auction thing for charity. Like, I don't know what those are called, but celebrities do them all the time, right? I could probably bring in a couple bucks, maybe. I don't know. What's we got to find a worthy charity though. Grassfed says, "I'm glad I'm not the only one in the anti-Oscar club." Hey, I don't get it. Like I just don't get it. There are some beautiful Oscars out there. Don't get me wrong. Like that Oscar that Corey Cotton brought home. That thing was crazy good looking, but it's still an Oscar, and I'm just not interested. Okay. That line is my belt. I get too hot to be a snuggler. I would be sweating nonstop. See, Psycho? That's the line, buddy. You went over it. You didn't go over it. You're way past that line. Bob secretly love Oscars. That's the thing. Like, when I do the fish room tour, when it's done, every tank is gonna have an Oscar in it. That's like my ultimate troll. If I'm not on the stream next week, my weird relatives that hate me. I mean, you are in Kentucky. Just about anything is possible there. Let's be real. I'm a cichlid guy, but not an Oscar fan. I mean, hey, find me one person that says they don't like cichlids, and I guarantee you they're not a true fish nerd. Because everybody likes apistos or cichlids, angelfish or cichlids, Africans. There's so many cichlids. Like, there's not a person out there that says I don't like cichlids. That's just stupid. But I get it. I'm not an Oscar fan either. I'm just not a monster fish, big fish person in general. I do love the Haitiensis cichlid, which is a big cichlid. But again, I'd probably never keep one, just not my jam. Uh-oh. What does this say here? I'll pay $200 an hour to feed my black throat monitor. He's a puppy dog unless food is presented. Then he's a psychotic monster. I'm glad he only gets fed in the basement. What's the weight on him? Have you weighed him recently? I think Oscars are good for beginner fish keepers, like the members of the Beastie Boys. Oh man. They're cool looking fish, but get so big. Plus, they sometimes random murder. Yeah, and it's not just fish they murder. Like, they murder plants too. And I'm obviously a big plant guy, so I can't have plant killers in my tanks. This chair is like, I've never noticed it being so squeaky until now that the microphone picks it up. Grass-fed. Grass-fed. Ham and cheese subs just got here. We don't talk about food. Just don't do it, please. Nanofish and baby feeder goldfish at my pet land. I quarantine and grow them out and take their picture, and my little 5-year-old niece names them. There you go. One of these times, I'm going to buy like 1,000 feeder white clouds and raise them up. Just because I can. Like, you're not fish food today, boys. I'm saving all of you. I bought a tilapia and couldn't be happier. Oh, Barbara. Oh, Barbara. What are we going to do with you? Yellowstone Aquatics. I love that name. But on the upside, you sound perfect. It even sounds better, like the closer I get it. But I don't like microphones in my face anymore. So we'll get it worked out. It'll be better. No more squeaks next week. I promise. If there's any of those blood cap moon tetras are still available on Dan's website when I get home, I'm buying all of them. They look awesome. They're spendy little buggers. I'm telling you. Blood cap. You'll see them in the video on Wednesday. I don't remember how much they are. $18. Which is really not bad for a super rare tetra. It's the fact that you gotta buy like 8 of them. It starts to add up. I like cichlids, but can't get an aquarium big enough. I can only have a 120-gallon aquarium in my apartment. And you can have cichlids. You can breed apistos in that. Get a pair of apistos. They're cichlids. There's all kinds of dwarf cichlids you can get. Yellowstone. 46 pounds. Wow. Can you imagine having a 46-pound lizard? That would be amazing. I saw some, what did I see? Blue Water Gym. The green tree monitor. Someone was selling them for $680, and it was so cheap, like, it had to be a scam. It just had to be. So I didn't buy them. Well, one, I don't have like $1,500 to spend on lizards, but nowadays those things are selling for over $1,000, like $1,200 a piece, and to see them for $680, I was like, I don't know about that. Something's got to be wrong. But hopefully they start coming down in price. That'd be nice. Bob, can you put the mic off to the side but closer so it's not on your way but better quality? Maybe. Can I put the mic off to the side but closer? This is if I move it any direction, it just gets farther away at this point. And if I move it any other way, then you're going to get the fan that's over here. If I move it that way, if I move it that way, you're going to get the fan that's over there. And I have to have the fans on for the dogs or they get too hot. So, uh-oh, what'd I just do? I think my camera just overheated. Speaking of hot, I do. I think my camera just overheated. All right, how are we gonna do this? Let's see. We can look at blood cap moon tetras. Wait, do I still have the thingamabob? Yeah, technical difficulties. I'll be right back. All right, let's see. It's already giving me the heat warning. We'll see how long this lasts. I'm going to move this fan to be pointed at the camera. Hopefully that's not too loud. Let me know if you can hear the fan, because now it's like aimed in this general direction. Yeah. Okay. We'll see how long this lasts. I am in the market for a new camera. Not a live streaming camera, but when I was at Dan's Fish, he let me borrow his Sony A7, and I was just like, oh man, this thing is, I gotta have one. So I'm saving for one now. My cuddle partner just showed up. Nathan, you win. You know what? I think I'm going to do a giveaway next week. When was the last time I've done a giveaway? I've got all kinds of stuff I can give away. Like, look, I just found a full bottle of these. That's now, what the heck's going on here? Look, a brand new thing of Easy Root Tabs I found today. I give those away. I think I want to do a giveaway next week. What do you guys think? Should we do that? Go do my water change and take care of my two little bird budgie girls. Budgies? Aren't those parakeets? Is that a fancy word for parakeet? Budgie? Alexander. Oh, Bunny Viper says, "Add Alexander. Thank you for all the support you give to the Fish Fam. You're very kind. I hope you're doing well." Is he still here? Oh, show just got better. What a troll. What a troll. Oh, man. Don't take the brown root tabs. Don't take the brown. Last time I think it was a hat. Oh, yeah. That was sponsored by Texas Fish Room. He did the hat. I forgot about that. So that was, I don't know, like 3-4 months ago. And then she won the hat and she's never been back. Oh, yeah, I'm just kidding. What else? I'm sure I have enough stuff. Like, I could give this away. Brand new in a box. Intex pool debris cover. Boom. Like, I could give this away with the root tabs. I'm telling you. What else? Oh. Avocado oil. Giveaway next week. Avocado oil. Just got that today. Amazon Prime. What else do I have brand new? Oh. My new guitar cable. Brand new in box. I can't give that away. I need that. I don't have anything else sitting around brand new in a box. Anyways. I'll take one of those guitars, just saying. Never. You never give away guitars. You never sell them. You always keep them. Why do I feel like Bob is just trying to declutter and calling it a giveaway? Hey. Maybe. One man's trash? Wait, what's the song? I don't know. I haven't heard that song in forever. The Macklemore. One's man's trash is another man's luggage? I don't know. Anyways, Bob, what types of shrimp will you be selling? So I'm only going to start with Neos, right? Cherries, yellows. Well, they're all cherry, but different variations of the cherry shrimp. I might go into, I have a really strong strain of red crystals that I might sell, but I really love them, and I don't know that I want to get rid of them. And it's not going to be wholesale. It's not going to be retail. It's just going to be, when I have extra, I'm going to list them on the website for sale. That's it. I'm not like buying and flipping or anything like that. Still telling me heat. I even have the LCD screen open, obviously, because I'm looking at it. Usually that cools it down, but Bob, I can engrave a tumbler cup for you. Auction off. Ooh. I do have a cup somewhere. Can you make one that's this big? If you can, I will buy it. Apparently someone attended the triple count and tested positive, but attended anyways. There is some Fish Fam members now have tested positive. Thought you all should know. The dreaded COVID. What is the health of his stream? What? Only shrimp I haven't killed are my bamboo shrimp. Ooh, I would love to get some of those. That maybe if I found them, I might buy and sell them because bamboo shrimp are awesome. Are Ziss filters actually better than a simple sponge? Better. I think that's pretty subjective. I think they're better for like overcrowded tanks. I think they're better for 64 ounces, I believe. I believe it's 64. I need to wash it. Don't look at it. It's gross. But 64 ounces, I think. Anyways, what was I talking about? I forgot. Moving on. Oh, Ziss filters. Yeah, so I think they're really good for like fry tanks that we have a ton of fry in. But it's not like you have to have this, right? Like a sponge filter will still do the job. But it can process large amounts of, or like a large bio load pretty quickly. So for me, like I'm thinking, you know, if I was breeding African cichlids and I'm not doing like daily water changes or something like that, for me, I like the look of the Ziss filters as well. A lot of people don't, but I do. So I love moving bed filters, and I think they're neat to look at. So that's why I like them. This stream has good flow today. Groovy. Ever-grown red mangrove in your tanks? I have 100 saplings coming. Planning to jungle up my fish room. No, I've never grown any mangrove actually. You can engrave that. Awesome. You might have to email me, steenfottaquatics@gmail.com. It only usually takes me only about a month to respond, so gotta get that lead time going right now. Hi all, this time of the week already, Greg. Already this time of the week. Resist filters, but I got that one. Ziss are neat, but I find myself going back to sponges. Sponges are way easier, just in general. Like what's easier than a sponge filter? Like auto water changes every day. They don't even need a filter. Sure, that's easier. Some streams are bigger than others. That's true. Bob's stream always has good flow. Thumbs up. Boom. Amy says, I love my Ziss filter. It handles all my guppies well. Yeah, so like I think Ziss filters, you know, they have their place. I wouldn't put one in a show tank. But like my old breeding for profit tank, when I had guppies and shrimp and plecos breeding, it would have helped out a lot. Like I had to do water changes every other day, like huge water changes. My Ziss kept getting clogged. Whew. I haven't had that problem yet, but I also clean the sponge filter on the bottom, so sponge filters are way easier than hang on back. I mean, I think we all can agree that sponge filters are the easiest. Ziss media filters were popular a year or so ago, but haven't seen them around in a while. They're still there. Like you can find them on eBay, and I think the co-op still sells them. I could be wrong. But yeah, I have a small business doing custom gifts and woodworking. I always need to get practice. I wish I was better at woodworking. Anyways, I'm just gonna move past that. I've been using the Tidal 35 for the past couple years, and it's been surprisingly good considering I had to get it in a pinch. It's so quiet, which is really surprising. I've yet to use the Tidal. One of these days I need to try it out, but that's not like a huge priority to me because I really don't like hang on back filters that much. You missed our super chat? Lies. For the Rocky and Miles $2 super chat. Sorry, dogs. For the ragtime music, $2 super chat from the two. I forget what kind of dogs those are, but I know what they are. It's Rocky and Miles. Thank you. Roof. Anyways, that was kind of weird. However, I still have one in each tank along with a sponge in each. There's always new doodad out there, but there's really only a few ways to What? There's always new doodads out there, I agree, but there's really only a few ways to water. Let's try this again. Um, there's really only a few ways to flow water over media and then back to the tank. Wow. Actually working with wood now. Yes, actual wood and not code for something else. All right. Most of my tanks use a combo of sponge and hang-on back filters. Don't get me wrong, I have my hang-on back filters like when I need to clear up a bunch of stuff quickly, then hang-on backs are my way to go. I run the co-op sponge filters and Aquarium hang-on backs in all my tanks. Yeah, those are my favorite sponge filters. Those look like Corgi Rainians. Corgi Rainians. You did it, Bob? I did it. I know. Yay, me. It's only, you know, I've only been doing this for 6 years, reading and ay. Still a few back. Dan says, showing my age, still have a few plastic box filters. Those are like, you know someone's been around a long time, like not age-wise, but just in the hobby a long time. I think that's awesome. Bob loves canister filters. Yeah, because the one time I used it, I didn't clean it for 3 years. That's how much I love them. I have my Dan's Fish order prepared for when I get off this mountain. 10 Moon Tetra, 5 Pracox Rainbow, and a Sparkling Gourami that's going to get thrown in a random 5-gallon tank. That sounds like a good order. Hang on back, much disappointment. Quit wasting money on filters. Sponge is all you need. I think hang on backs, like I said, I think they definitely have their place. Like if you need to remove meds, can't do that with a sponge filter, but you can throw in a hang on back with some activated charcoal and clear it out lickety split. Lickety split. I like box filters that are small hospital tanks with fresh floss. Four small hospital tanks. Undergravel filters on my first tank years ago. I thought someone was trying to bring back undergravel filters. Maybe I'm just losing my mind. I don't know. I put hang on back filters sometimes in like my pleco tanks because plecos make a big mess, and I'd rather just clean out a hang on back filter after running it all night than like getting it all that gunked up in the sponge filter. Fluffy Macumber. I really want to do an undergravel, but I haven't yet. Yeah, my first one is undergravel. My first real fish tank was a 29-gallon with undergravel. I still remember changing out the little charcoal filters, like yelling at my parents, it's been 2 weeks, I need a new charcoal filter, we got to go to this pet store. They actually work pretty well if you stuff them with a sponge. Plus, when you need to clean them, they don't dump gunk in your tank when you take it out. Well, I mean, you could do that you could avoid that with a sponge filter too, but it is an extra step, I get it. Love hang on bags, easy for chemical filtration, and always have bagged media inside for cycling a new tank. I mean, I think besides canister filters, they all have their purpose. Canister filters, just pointless. I'm obviously kidding. My mystery snail hasn't shown itself in over a week. I think it's passed on. Should I go digging for it or let it be? I think the better question is there room in the lid, if you have a lid, for it to crawl out? Mystery snails are pretty famous for crawling out and never coming back. Because they lay their eggs above the water line, they're constantly looking for a way to get out of the tank and lay eggs. And then they could never get back, right? When I was really big into mystery snails, I found them behind my tanks dried up all the time. Lickety Split, wasn't that your stage name at the club, Zen? Oh, probably should have read that one before I said it. I want to convert to only sponge filters. I use Powerhead, so it will be getting the co-op sponges unless I find the ones that fits the Powerhead. I'm just not doing well with reading comments today. I don't know what it is. I think I've been staring at a computer screen too long these last couple days. I am butchering everything. Rocky, you would probably stink if it died in the tank. Rocky, you stink. It's the dingleberries. Mystery snails are the dingleberries of the aquarium hobby. Anyways, Bob, my man, if the comment is from me, you likely don't want to read it. You know, it specifically makes me check not for children when I create a live stream. So, you know, it's out there. The camera going threw you off. Yep, it ruined my feng shui, my macrostria, if you will, my flow. Yep. My LFS just got in Dreamfish, Cobra Endlers. Here I come. Go get them. I approve. I have the ones that fit those power heads, but I don't like them because you can't adjust the flow. But yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be able to. It's just a small power head. Why? Like, it's not like $100 power head, you know? I don't find, like, you're not going to buy that power head and put it in like a 5-gallon tank and then be mad that you can't adjust the flow. But it's just fine for your 55s. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. I do try to be more careful on more popular streams like yours. To be fair, Zen would admit it. Well, also, to be fair, I'm not exactly PG when I go and do comments in other people's streams. So it's like my outlet. Like, being rated G for 2 hours, I need an outlet. And it's other people's stream, and I make up for it. So I get it. HDJC86 says, my favorite setup right now is a canister filter with the tube running behind a corner Matten filter where the heater sits. I stick the PVC pipe back there when I do water changes too. I like to do canister filters with sand substrate and put the return under the substrate, and then it makes the sand like rumble. Gives it magic fingers, like boo, right? I don't know, I think it looks pretty neat. Obviously, if you have issues and the power goes out and it back siphons and empties all your water, you know, that might be a problem, but funny, the Harry Puffer colony was messing around down here after that discussion. All right. Negative, it blows my 55 plants all over. My betta hated it, so I took it out. My rainbows loved it, though. I don't know. It's too powerful for my 3-gallon. Well, see, now that's probably true. Freshwater dreaming. His words, not mine. Canisters are the biggest scam aquarium manufacturers have ever come up with. Send me half what you're going to spend on one and buy fish with the other half and come out ahead. There you go. They're so overpriced. Canister filters are ridiculously overpriced. I agree. Jessica Bryant gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Wendy, Dan, Greg, D. Soro, William. You're all part of the club now, whether you want to be or not. You're part of the cult. No backing out now. It's over. Don't say it, Bob. Not sure what I'm not saying, but hey. I don't know. I got nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm thinking of starting a planted tank with geophagus. You're going to have to do some thinking on that one. Could I use fluval stratum as a substrate with them? Because I hear they dig a lot. Yes. They do dig a lot. They're earth eaters, right? That's how they eat, by sifting through the substrate. So, I'm not a fan of fluval stratum just for the amount of ammonia it leaches. But it is pretty big. And I'm sure, you know, people do geophagus with gravel substrate all the time. So, you know, fluval stratum is not going to be any worse than that. But just be careful about the substrate. The other thing you're going to have to think about, or be careful about the ammonia. The other thing you have to think about is what kind of plants you're using, because they will dig them up. And not actively, like they're not going out of their way to dig up plants, but you know, if they found a good place to munch, just buy some plants, they're going to dig up your plants. So what's your discount code of Dan's Fish? I don't have a discount code. All you have to do is use that link and you will get 10 10% off your very first order. If you've already ordered from Dan's Fish, it won't work. But if you've never ordered from Dan's Fish, the idea is to incentivize you to order. And there it is, 10% off. Just use that link. I'm going to attempt a planted 125 with my 7 full-grown wine Millerai. Like, I feel like as long as you know, like, you're getting earth eaters and what they do, it's not that hard to plan a planted tank around your fish. Obviously, you don't want a full carpet, right? That would be bad. You don't want a full carpet with geophagus, because then, you know, they can't. They'll still like eat, you know, flakes and stuff as you drop them in. But that, I mean, it's just their natural behavior. Why would you take that away from them? If you're going in on a canister, just build a sump instead. I agree. Like, I love sumps. And I don't know why I would pay like $400 for an FX6 when I can get a sump and have it be way more effective. Like, night and day difference. I get it, like, you know, some people can't have sumps and they don't work all the time. But I mean, sumps are so fun. So easy. A sump takes, you know, 10 seconds to clean. It's ridiculous. Find me someone that can do maintenance on an FX6 as fast as I can do maintenance on a sump, because you're literally just replacing a piece of filter floss and that's it. Like, and they're easier than sponge filters, for crying out loud, to maintain. Anyways, missed the beginning. Is Bob going away? It is the exact opposite. There's going to be way more content coming. There's the cliff notes. Way more content coming. Just basically the return of videos, basically, I guess. I don't know. How did you like Wyoming? I freaking loved it. I wish I could move there. You was headed to lunch when I stopped in to get some fish. Oh, was that you? Yes, I love it. I absolutely love it. I wish I could move there if it was possible. I would do it in a heartbeat. Bow wow. It was nice to meet you. Nice to say hi. But yeah. Oh man, the people there are insanely friendly. Like, everyone says hi or smiles or waves. Well, not much waving, but people do wave. You know, I'm used to Seattle, where like people will stab you in the back with a knife if you give them an opening. There, everyone is just so nice. It was beautiful country. Going up in the mountains was amazing. I don't know that their mountains are, I mean, they're more hills compared to the mountains I'm used to. But as far as like the landscape, I wouldn't say it's better than Washington, but I would say it's just as good. It's just different, you know, different trees, different layout. It's just different, but it's still really nice, really nice. There's moose and elk and dead deer everywhere. I mean, I can't believe all the dead deer I saw. It's like every 1,000 feet driving down the road, there's another dead deer. It was ridiculous. Going down Main Street and just seeing deer hanging out in the town was kind of crazy, but it was cool to see moose, some mooses, some meese, whatever. Saw a huge herd of elk, like 100 elk. It was crazy. It was pretty awesome. Come to Tennessee then, everyone. I'd go to Wyoming before I go to Tennessee. But I do enjoy Tennessee too. Have you ever used one of those hang-on backs that look like a little canister? Basically, it's a canister filter that just hangs on the back. I have one. I have the Phoenix, like FX360 or PX360 or something like that, and it comes with a little thing that you can just hang it on the back of the tank. I actually like that one. For nano aquariums, I really like that small Phoenix canister filter. I really do. That's probably the only time you'll ever hear me say I like a canister filter. Because it's a nano tank, right? You don't want things in, like, I don't want a sponge filter that's half the size of the tank. Like, even the small sponge filters in a nano tank still takes up a lot of space. So I like that I can have the filtration, the heat, and everything, the heater, everything outside of the tank. We have a whitetail problem here, but nothing like that. Oh, it's crazy. My mind was blown by the amount of dead deer everywhere. Like, if you're in like auto body repair, that's where you want to move to, because I cannot imagine ever being a downtime there. Like, it's just like there's got to be like a whole factory just pumping out bumpers left and right. We got to fix these bumpers. Deer equals rat with hooves. So yeah, Dan was calling them lawn rabbits. I think is that it? Lawn rabbits, something like that. They're just everywhere. But man, it was so nice. It was so nice. I'm definitely a small town person because that was definitely my jam. Everything just everything just moves a little slower there. Everyone's just more laid back. Everyone's relaxed. Like you go to Seattle, like everyone is high strung. They've had like 1,000 milligrams of caffeine from Starbucks already. Everybody hates you no matter what. It's the worst. It is the worst. There, it's like you just kick back, relax, and just live your life. Have a good time, man. We're overran with skunks and armadillo here. Armadillos would be cool, but probably not if you're overran with them. Can you do a sump without drilling a tank? Yes. So you can buy overflows. There's a ton of different kinds on eBay. And there's different styles too. So some are created with a siphon, some are with an uplift pump, an uplift air pump, which is different than your standard air pump. So definitely read up on it, do some research. It sounds a lot like Mississippi. Well, I would imagine Mississippi being a bit more humid, like than Wyoming. But I'm just guessing. I've never been to Mississippi. There was a town in Mississippi that was paying people to move there. And so I did look at housing there, and housing is pretty inexpensive. But this was pre-COVID, so I don't know what it is now. Probably jacked up just like everywhere else. But I forget what it was, but they were paying $2,000 in travel expenses and then $500 a month for the first 12 months that you lived there. Like, I was just like, And at the time, you could get like a house for like 120,000, and your mortgage would be like $600, 700, in that, depending on how much you put down. And then they're basically paying your mortgage for the first year to move there. Are overflows loud? I always imagined it would be like a small water feature. Nope, because it's a siphon. So like when you siphon water out of your aquarium, is it loud? Only if you're like splashing it into a bucket. But the overflows, it's just a siphon, so you don't hear it at all. Now, if you have an overflow box and you're hearing like gurgling sounds, that can happen. That just means something's wrong. So you need to like figure out what's going on. But normally it's just whisper quiet. You can make a sump out of a power head, some medical tubing, and a 5-gallon bucket. Yep, absolutely. You can do just like a gravity-fed 5-gallon bucket. Wyoming's paying to live there. Also, I just happened to see. Really? I don't know that I would believe that. You might have to link me the article because it's really expensive. Like I was blown away by how expensive that place is, like real estate. But I mean that's everywhere right now, so I can't really be surprised. We have a lot of skunks, raccoons, and coyotes, and herds of deer. I have tons of coyotes, and they go. I got this pack of coyotes, and they go crazy at like 2 in the morning every single day. I don't know what they're doing. They're having some kind of shindig, but they just start screaming and laughing, and they go for like 10 minutes, and it's like clockwork. 2 o'clock every morning, they're out there screaming. I've started to record it on my phone. It's kind of crazy. Bob's moving to Wyoming. I wish, but it's impossible to get a mortgage when you're self-employed. So, and I'm not paying cash. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't win the $1 billion Mega Millions, so not moving to Wyoming. If I had won that $1 billion, I would probably buy the biggest ranch they have for sale. Although I don't want a big house. Like, I want a tiny home on lots of acres because I don't want to clean. Who wants to clean like a 10,000 square foot home? That doesn't sound like fun. John the Stir Fry Guy says, I'm glad your stream was tonight. Me too. I really need this. I almost went live last night too, just for funsies, but then I got sidetracked editing. Hey, Moonstone, good to see you. Good to see you. Moonstone, are you going to go to Fishtoberfest? It's right in your neck of the woods, I believe. August 9th. October October 9th ish. 8th, 9th, I don't know. You can totally get a mortgage if you're self-employed. I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it's significantly harder. Oh man, I'm really slouching. I'm trying to be like, I'm trying not to make this thing squeal, but yeah, it's significantly harder. I need the big ranch for the giraffes. Yeah, I'm just saying land. Like I don't want a big house. My, I'm I'm building my tiny home so I can actually move it. So when I do buy property, no matter where that is, because I want at least 10 acres somewhere. I don't know where that is. I realize that's not a lot, but it's a lot more than I have right now. And yeah, but if I could, ideally, like in a dream world, I'd want like 40 to 80 acres. But I'm not greedy. I'll take 10. I'll take 10. Silver Creek Aquarist. Hello, hello, hello. Unless it's a 10,000 square foot house full of tanks, right? No, I just want a post pole barn, and I'll fill that with tanks, and I can park my car in there as well. You know. It's 9:30 p.m. Gotta go talk to the fishies. Thanks for the stream bomb. Freshwater Dreaming. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Zim says we all need a tiny house with a large basement and or shop. I agree. Coyotes howl when the two groups meet up, or they make a kill. I'm sure it's a kill. If it's happening the same time each morning, they're probably meeting up. Maybe, but it always starts with like one way over, like half a mile down there. It starts screaming, and then the other one just starts screaming as well, and then eventually they like come together. So I guess they are meeting up, right? I guess that makes sense. I always imagine like they're sending out a hunter or a scout, and then whenever he finds whatever it is they're looking for, they call each other and they come screaming towards each other. Bob, you just need the right CPA. There's a lot of things I need. I don't know. So I don't know. I don't want to get too much into it, but when I tried to buy the house the last time, it was a pain. Like, I got the money, I got the credit score. It was just the self-employment was the hurdle. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, enough is as good as a feast. I can barely manage half my half acre. It's a lot. Oh yeah, like I'm not gonna maintain the property. Like, it's just acreage to go out and do stuff. Bob, it's called the Remote Grant Program, and it's up to $100,000 to move and in tax write-offs. And I believe a 5-acre plot in some lonely area, but you have to prove you remotely work. Remote Grant Program. Is it specifically to Wyoming? That's kind of an oxymoron, right? If you're in a remote and you have to work a remote area that you have to work remotely, you're not going to have internet, especially in Wyoming. Like, that ain't going to happen. What was it again? Where's it at? Remote Grant Program. And that's not really paying you. But it kind of is, you know, right? We're just splitting hairs here. Just arguing semantics at that point. Wyoming. All right. An average value of $174,000 per housing Yeah, see, this is all old. Like, housing is way more expensive than that. Anyways, I'll look at this after the stream. I'll look it up. Work remotely with dial-up internet. Yeah, like, I couldn't live stream anywhere that would be there. Tony, home is cool. 6x10. Wait, cool. Oh, tiny home is cool. I'm in a 16x40 with lofts. See, I don't want a loft. I'll never do a loft. I'll do like a second floor, but I won't do a loft. Like, if you need a really steep staircase or ladder, I won't do it just because of my dogs. Isn't that what Starlink is for, though? Yeah. I wouldn't put all my eggs in that basket. I don't trust it enough. I own a business and my employees can get loans, no problem, but it's been crazy for me, right? So your employees have gainful employment, right? But you as the owner, It's a man. It's stupid. Lofts are for storage. Oh, okay. Some people like put their bed in the loft, and I'm just like, no way. No way, Jose. Not me. Starlink, that was a game changer up here in the on the mountain in Colorado. Colorado. Had it since it first beta tested here. Interesting. Whereabouts in Colorado are you, says Kendra. Kendra wants to know. 1,000 square foot basement, 1,000 square foot first floor, 800 square foot second floor is my ideal right now. That's too much to clean. Have I thought about doing a shipping container home? Kind of. I've thought about building my bunker out of a shipping container, my secret laboratory buried underground. But no, because I would need multiple shipping containers, and I can't live in something that's 8 feet wide. That's just not doable. Can't have a tiny home with huge dogs? Absolutely I can, and I do. I absolutely can. I couldn't climb a loft anymore. Those were the days. They want people to make like 100K to move to their little town, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's so many stipulations of that. I know there was some town in Alaska that was paying people, but it, like, I mean, they didn't even have dial-up. It's like, gee, my Christmas. What are you supposed to do? But that was probably a decade ago. Oh, I just got notified. Thanks, YouTube. Just notified me that I'm live. My boss's best friend has the same problem. She owns the small vet clinic I manage and has had the hardest time getting a loan. I mean, seriously. And we were in the time when they were just handing out loans to everyone, right? You live on the street, you don't have a job, take a home loan. You have your own, you rent, you have your own business. No, you don't qualify. My dream is to build a 300 tank capable shed with living facilities. 300 tank capable, not 300 gallon. I read that wrong. 300 tank capable shed with living facilities, and joining a shed for my wife's crystal cave. All this talking about places to live really makes me want to move from Southwest Florida, I'm assuming, even more. But prices of places are crazy right now. To rent a 2x2 around 1,200 square feet is around $2,000. Hey Bob, no offense, but my panda Cory is 3 years old and thriving. Just to let you know. Thanks, Moonstone. I appreciate it. I feel like that's you don't come to my stream often, but when you do, you gotta talk about panda Corys. But hey, whatever gets you here. Do I have any breeding tips on pea puffers? I don't. I have never even considered like spawning them before. I've never researched it at all. That's something I can't give you any tips on. Sorry, the Walters. Yeah, I've never even researched that before. Adjustable rate mortgages. Ooh, that was a scary cave to climb out of. Ooh, I would never do that. You gotta go fixed rate, man. You gotta go fixed rate. Sadly, with the price of houses, I don't see me owning a house anytime soon. Well, if it crashes this year, if the housing market crashes, sucks to be everyone who owns a home, but I'll be pouncing on that. We need a good 2008 crash. Bob, you sound like a true animal lover. You have a big heart. I love animals. I do love animals. And I do have an enlarged heart, so yeah, it is pretty big. I gotta go and try to figure out my streaming hardware and get it ready. I may message you with real dumb questions. Peace. Well, I probably won't answer because I'll be streaming myself still. But Secret History Living in Your Aquarium will be streaming right after I end. So keep that in mind if you're bored and need somewhere else to go and get your fish. I was going to say something I shouldn't, so we'll just leave it at that. Cross his fingers on a crash. Yep. Yep. Yeah, but the problem is, like, when you have places like BlackRock and these other funds just paying cash for all these houses, like, even if it crashes, they're just gonna go swoop in and buy even more houses. It's stupid. Thanks, Bobby. Just helped me get through shopping for groceries. Oh, man. I could use some groceries right now. What's my favorite fish? Walter, rainbow fish are my favorite fish. Rainbow fish. The stated income loans crashed the market in 98. I thought it was 08. Like the non-income where you could pay to, you paid extra to not have income verified or something like that. So you could literally like go buy a $2 million house and be like, no. Here's 20 bucks. Don't check my income. Just sweep that under the rug. Zinchiger said, I was 22 when I bought a house, and even with help from my family, ARM was the only way to get approved, and it was stupid. Thank God I was able to pay it off when the bubble bursted. The biggest mistake I ever made was not buying a house. I was 20 years old. I got approved for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, pretty basic, you know, like 1,400 square feet. It was 120 grand. And I was like, I'm 20 years old. I shouldn't own a house right now. I should be out partying and blah, blah, blah and doing stuff, you know? I shouldn't be having a house right now. So I didn't do it. And that was the dumbest thing I ever did. Well, I've done a lot dumber things, but you know what I mean. Even with the crash, I'm still too poor to own a house with all these animal hobbies. Not a lot of extra money left. Yeah, I mean, you gotta, you know, kind of reel that stuff in at some point. Oh, man. Mark's Aquatics videos on breeding pea puffers. There you go. Mark's Aquatics. If I'm reading that right, Mark's Aquatics has a video on breeding pea puffers. I feel like that would be a fun project, though. I've lived here so long it doesn't matter, so maybe just bloom where you are planted. That's my thought. Buy something and sit there and do your best, but don't rent. Yeah, rent. I don't know. I think it depends. Like, I rented for 20 years, but my rent, like, I'm not even going to say how much I paid for rent because it'll just make everyone mad. Kind of pretty much why I don't own my house is because my rent was so cheap, it would have been stupid to buy a house. Like, it didn't make any sense. Unfortunately, the money I saved on not having a mortgage went to stuff besides saving for a house. So I wasn't very smart about that. The only reason I want a house is more space for tanks and other projects. But if I buy a house, I won't have any money left over for tanks or projects. That's the conundrum. It's a double-edged sword. Just gotta make more money. Build, no rent, no mortgage. Johnny says, go where you want to be. Don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. Sean says, I have a free 5-gallon tank considering a killifish, but which one? I don't know. I probably wouldn't do a killer. I would do like a pygmy sunfish. I think that would be more fun. 2008, I guess I missed a decade. It happens. We all lose 10 years here and there, right? For me, it was about 22 to 32. That whole section is just gone. Like, didn't exist. We're never bringing that up. Never talking about that 10 years. Grow your own protein like Bob and I here. The only thing rent does is make someone else rich. Finance the tanks with the house. Anyway, it's definitely not cheaper to own than rent. Definitely not cheaper to own than rent. Medcow says, I bought a house for $108,000 at 22. It's now worth $370. Yeah, the house I would have bought for $120 is about $650 right now. Zen Ginger says, I go to work so I can buy more tanks so I can decompress so I can go to work so I can. You get the point. It's like drugs. It's a big scam, man. I'm telling you. Howdy, fishy people. 3 months into my rainbow fish education. Jeff, 4 months. It says 4 months, buddy. Thank you for 4 months. I appreciate it. And yeah, more rainbow fish education coming. There's gonna be a lot of rainbows on this channel in the future. Used to breed Okefenokee Pygmy Sunfish. So much personality. I know I want to find them. Like, if there's somebody out there with some that wants to mail me some, I'd be much obliged. I think I've been watching too many westerns. Much obliged. Any tips on autosinklets? Lots of articles out there of how hard they are to keep. Are they really that hard? No. Autosinklets are very easy to keep, but you have to pay attention to their guts. And what I mean by that, if they start getting sunken belly, it means they're just not eating. And you really got to watch out for that. You got to make sure. So they're algae grazers, but there's usually not enough algae for them to eat, or they'll just eat it all. And, you know, I think the problem is a lot of people buy algae eaters and just assume that they're going to eat algae and the leftover food. You have to specifically feed your autosinklets, whether it's zucchini, algae wafers, green beans, whatever it is. They're not hard, though, as long as you're feeding them. What's your favorite part of a new tank setup? Planning, scaping, letting it grow out? You're so far off. Buying the fish. Buying the fish is my favorite part of a new tank. I guess maybe that's in the planning area there that you're talking about, like planning on what fish you're going to buy, but buying the fish is always the best part, in my opinion. I love getting new fish, get that endorphin kick, right? Rent for a 2-bedroom here in Oregon is $1,400 to $2,100. Payment on a 1,400 square foot home is $1,000. Crazy upside down. I don't know where you're getting a 1,400 square foot home on $1,000 for $1,000 on like 6% interest rates, 5.5%, whatever it is right now. That doesn't seem right. Maybe, I mean, well, obviously with like a large, I don't know how much you're putting down, but I think Jonah's Aquarium has them. Not 100% sure. I haven't been there in a while. Yeah, but for whatever reason, they won't sell to me. I don't know. I don't know if I dated his sister or what I did, but I tried to buy some fish from him. He said he wouldn't ship them to me. So I don't know what I ever did to that guy, but yeah, he won't send me fish. The owners of my rented house raise the rent every year. Well, that's pretty standard, right? Like 2% or whatever. Don't buy autos till your tank is cycled and has some algae. That's a good point, Dan. It's probably something I should have mentioned. If you're going to buy autos, wait as long as you possibly can. Like, hold out until you just can't hold out anymore. Like, when you're super jonesing for them and you can't wait any longer, then get them. But the longer your tank is set up, the more successful you'll be with autos. Same thing with like shrimp. Shrimp are the same way. My dog changed the channel. I came back. Sounds like that dog needs to go in the doghouse. I have a 17 square foot house with 1,200 square feet and 900 square foot shop and half an acre and pay $850. And you're gonna find that in Washington, that's for sure. Fish Tank Barn, who's copying my content. McCopier. Oh, Wild Fish Tanks has Pygmy Sunfish at the Triple Crown. Oh, I was gonna message him actually. Whenever I remembered. I just now remembered I wanted Okefenokee Pygmy Sunfish. If I can actually remember when I'm not streaming, I'm gonna send him a message because I know he's like right out there and collects them, right? Yes, buying the fish is a given favorite. They like algae wafers, and oddly enough, canned green beans are like my go-to. French cut canned green beans. Some people don't like that they're salted. I actually prefer that they're salted. But yeah, you get your fish hooked on salt, they'll never have another parasite again. Like once they're addicted to that salt, No more parasites. Autosynclus, feed them Rapashi, Soylent Green, have plants, driftwood, catappa leaves in the tank. Nice clean water with some flow. HDJC86 says the trick to autos is feeding them Bacter AE. I've never found a need for Bacter AE. I know some people swear by it, but I don't know. To me, it's like just one of those things. Like, I don't know. I'm sure if I say I'm sure I'm gonna offend someone, but it's like Pure Gen. Like, you don't need Pure Gen, you don't need Bacter AE. It's just one of those products that they make just to make more money, in my opinion. And if that makes you angry, I'm sorry. We can still be friends, though. We don't have to like the same products, right? Got my house in Wenatchee for $72K in the mid-90s. Can't find one for less than $170 now. I would move to Wenatchee in a heartbeat if there was a house for $200,000 there. But you got to go to, like, Okanagan or someplace way up there. Yes, yeah, the best. Oh, you mean for fish? Green beans for the win. Yes. Oh, man. And everyone, I'm just joking about Fish Tank Barn. He's not copying my content. We're just playing around. Calm down. Calm down. I asked about Bacter AE at some folks, and some folks say it's magic. Some folks say it's just caused water quality issues, and they still lost fish. I would like to know, though, I can't keep them. You can't keep autos? Purigen sure removes tannins. I think we can agree it's expensive to live. I think it's expensive to live just about anywhere right now. You know, obviously, any like first world country right now is pretty crazy. On half an acre, crazy. I know, right? That's my home. Well, yeah, but you bought that in the 90s. Like, of course it's cheap. Get in the right decade, Moonstone. Find a spot and sit still. That's my last words. I love to spot. So can I just squat? Can I find an empty house and just squat it? Like, I'm gonna cruise on Zillow and find a house that's been on the market for like 200 days and just squat. And can't you like live there for a certain time and then like claim ownership? Isn't that legal in some states? Like, I've lived here for 3 years and they never kicked me out. Obviously, it's my land now. I think that's a loss in some places. I think we should agree. Yep. Already read that one. Bob, it's my home. I've always wanted pygmy sunfish. Heard they are really picky, though. So I've kept Okefenokee pygmy sunfish before, and I didn't find them that picky. I think as long as you keep them right, you know, they need to be secure, right? They need to feel like they're not going to just get eaten. So tank mates are very important. Dither fish, very important. But I had mine with a few different species of rasboras, and they did just fine. They were always out and about. I forget what food I was feeding them at the time, but they took prepared foods. Yikes, that law sounds dumb. It really is, but there's some states where you can actually do that. I have the perfect house for you. I know the ones that have been on the market since November. Yeah, I'm just going to squat. Be a squatter. Yes, autos. I have a good source. The sunken bellies happen over 6 months period. Every time, it's definitely my fault, but I don't know what I'm missing. I tried wafers, rapashi, and veggie. I mean, have you tried algae? Like, filling up, like, a glass jar or something with rocks and just putting it in the sunlight, and then just letting algae grow like crazy, and then just moving those rocks into your tank? When I was breeding autos, it was there was so much. It was kind of a weird combination. So it was in a 33 long, and the plants were everywhere. I mean, just it was packed with plants. They were growing out of the tank, but there was also lots of algae. And every once in a while, you would just see like a little quarter to half inch auto just make it to the front of the glass. So I wasn't trying to spawn them, but they were spawning in there. People here moved into a house when their family was on a week-long vacation, and apparently that was over the time frame for the squatters. They could not kick them out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in some states, it's really hard to get rid of squatters. I had to help get rid of some squatters one time here. What else? Algae wafers, but no, didn't try that. Maybe I will. I'm hesitant to kill more of the little fellas. It's, they can be tricky. It's definitely one of those fish where people either say they're really easy to keep, really hard to keep, they're impossible to breed, or in my case, really easy to breed. There doesn't seem to be like any middle ground there with autos, but I've definitely had my fair share of trouble with like the orange autos, the zebra autos, but the common auto, I've never really had a problem with, thankfully. Hard to legally rid of the squatters. Yeah, there. That's the caveat. There's a squatter on a property a few miles from me, and I told the owner to put a 10-foot fence with no gate around the house to lock him in forever. That sounds expensive. It's probably cheaper than losing your land, though. Deb says, Zen Ginger, I always put my new autos through the Med Trio. They are so mishandled from their catch to fish stores. I've been breeding them for a couple of years now. There you go. Do autos get intestinal parasites? I would imagine, yeah. I've definitely seen my fair share of autos with sunken bellies, so some kind of parasite going on in there. It's a very small house. Nathan says, I'm soaking a large piece of wood. It sank day 1, but started floating a little day 2. Will it eventually sink fully? Eventually. I can't tell you how long it's going to take. Every type of wood is different. I have wood that's been floating for almost 3 years now, so I don't think it's ever going to sink. But for the most part, I would say on average, for the wood I collect, it takes about 3-4 months for it to sink fully. Was a somehow off to the side they were squatting in. If they don't leave, the corner will clean them up later. Their problem. I used to work with a guy. He was from India, and he had a big house, big homestead out there. I don't know how many thousands of acres he had, but he had to actually leave and go to India for a couple of weeks to run people off of his land because they had started living there. And he was telling me like it's full on war out there. It's crazy. What I meant is actually buy a place and just I know you're not talking about squatting. I know that. Come on. Oh man. But I agree with Money Viper. It says most people accidentally starve autos to death, thinking they'll survive forever on the algae in the tank, and it's the same way with most plecos, right? I mean, people. I feel like the common person that's walking into Petco and PetSmart, oh excuse me, they're buying plecos as cleaner fish, and they don't feed them. They just think, oh, they're eating algae and leftover food, and then they die, and then after 6 months they they starve and die, and then they go buy another one, and just a never-ending cycle. Musa says, okay, fishies, love you guys. I'm gonna go finally episode 10 of Yellowstone. Fall is coming. Only episode 10. Are you still on season 1? Have a Siamese algae eater with a Gara ruffa that swim together all the time. My flying fox used to school with my roseline barbs all the time. That was pretty neat. I think like flying fox is a fish that's just you don't see very often. A couple different variants, kind of like a Siamese algae eater. Zen, very few people actually breed autos. Low spawn numbers. I really doubt your LFS is sourcing locally bred ones. I would be very skeptical if someone makes that claim for sure. I would definitely want to know more. Coming from someone who has spawned them, I don't know how many you would have to actually support a store. You would need crazy amounts. But I mean, you never know. There could be someone with a bunch of outdoor tubs, like getting 10, 12 babies every single day out of there. I don't know. Never know. Seems a bit sketchy though to me. Sometimes they can also tell old wives' tales. Old wives' tales. It can also be your water parameters, possibly the internal parasites. People that have soft water, they tend to do better. How come Chewy is Chewy on other people's streams, and on my streams, it's not Chewy? I'm very skeptical. I still see Chewy as Chewy on other people's streams, but never on my stream. I don't know about that. That's weird to me. That's weird to me, Chewy. Are you banned on my channel or something? Like, what's going on here? I'm pretty sure you. I mean, you were a mod. You couldn't be banned. Very weird. Uh-oh. How many messages did I get? Yep. Gotta love my peeps. Got about 18 messages that my camera went black. Must be another Chewy. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense, I guess. Whose stream was I on just the other day? I saw a Chewy and they were modded. They were a blue Chewy. Just the other day I saw it. I think there's an imposter out there. Like, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure there's an imposter. Had a customer today talking as fast as he could because he wanted to sound smart when he just sounded like a self-conscious turd. I can't stand people that do that. Super glue a rock to the bottom of it, that will sink. Yeah, a lot of people will just get like slate, not plate, slate, and attach their wood to slate. Jeez. Nathan says, I still want to watch Yellowstone. Don't do TV, though. Along with internet, don't need it. Plus, I don't have the patience to wait for each episode. Well, there's only 4 seasons out right now, and I love it. I'm going to say it is an amazing show. But it's definitely, you know, kind of geared towards me and my what I enjoy. So that doesn't hurt. But I love Yellowstone. Highly recommend it. What's my email address again? Steenfottaquatics@gmail.com. Really hard. Just Steenfott Aquatics, my channel name. They might be locally sourced then. They have a breeder they get a bunch of fish from, but he might import those. I can't pretend to know that part. In any case, though, they have an open quarantine section and they do a lot, and they even carry the co-op products. They're very reputable. I mean, that's honestly, if they carry co-op products, like that's all I need to know about a fish store to trust them. Like, you automatically gain my trust if you have co-op products, just because I know the vetting process that the co-op goes through to vet these local fish stores. So if the co-op trusts them, then I would trust them. What else we got? With that one. This is the only profile I have. Okie dokie. In any case, though, okay. All right. I think I'm all caught up. I'm gonna check one thing here. All right. We got nothing left. We are at the end of the comment section. No additional comments anywhere else. It's been 2 hours. I'm starving. I'm going to go eat. Oh, squeaky chair. We'll get us some WD-40. We'll tighten the bolts before next week. Should be all right. Thanks, everyone, for coming out. It was a lot of fun. As always, these 2 hours just fly by, so I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to all the super chatters, the gifted subs, members, lurkers, moderators, commenters. You're all very much appreciated. I watched some clips and I definitely will get with it soon. I just got my in-laws password to stream from my phone to the TV. It's pretty good. Like, I'm gonna watch it again here pretty soon. I'm watching what did I just get? Tool Time, Home Improvement. I just got the first season of Home Improvement. I'm gonna watch through that, and then I don't know what I'm gonna watch, but Home Improvement, that's one of my favorite shows ever. So looking forward to watching that. But in any case, that's what I'm watching right now, in case anyone wanted to know. And I might see everyone this weekend if we can work out a stream. I'm not sure. Maybe. If not, hope you all have a great week, and I will see you here next Monday, 5 p.m. PST. Be there or be square. That's all I got.